MobLand Season 1's final scene was far more personal than the large-scale action set pieces that dominated the episode's middle. In it, Harry brought Jan back to the safe home, where she at last let out her wrath, fear, and aggravation at being stuck in their perilous way of life with Gina. With a little Freudian slip, Jan stabbed Harry in the chest with a kitchen knife out of frustration. Although his destiny is left out in the air, Tom Hardy is most likely not going to die from his wound given his prominence in the show and his cool-headed response to the stabbing. To be honest, the cliffhanger is probably a preemptive move in case Tom Hardy is unable or unwilling to return for a second season of MobLand. They can now easily write him off the show and give Jan a dilemma to resolve. The conflict between the Stevensons and the Harrigans ended abruptly and violently in the season finale of Ronan Bennett's MobLand, and the main players in the Harrigan criminal organization entered a larger and more perilous world. Harry de Souza finally put a stop to the fight with the Stevensons after Conrad and Maeve were imprisoned. The identity of the rat that had been providing Richie with intelligence for months was one of the many mysteries surrounding the inner circle of the Harrigans that were resolved en route to the dramatic denouement. In order for Harry, Kevin, Paul, Zosha, and Kiko to kill the South London criminal lord and all of his soldiers in a simultaneous ambush, Harry leveraged Richie's faith in the Harrigans' own attorney, O'Hara Delaney. Refocused by the exorcism of his longtime tormentor, jail guard Alan Rusby, Kevin asserts his claim to the throne of the Harrigan criminal empire in another scene. Kevin fully rejected Eddie after establishing that he was, in reality, Conrad's son with his wife, Bella, and labeled him Conrad's problem rather than his own. Even though MobLand's first season's secrets were mostly resolved and the battle with the Stevensons was resolved, the conclusion did a lot to set up an unconfirmed second season. As opposed to the London-based domains they shared with the Stevensons, the Harrigans were unintentionally drawn into a far bigger criminal underworld by the events of Season 1. Along with the next group of adversaries whose anger has been aroused, the members of the Harrigan crime organization have a lot of stories to tell in the next stage of their development. The season finale finally put an end to the frustrating lack of detail surrounding Bella's plan involving her father, the Home Secretary, the Frenchman Antoine, and his client, a sanctioned Syrian arms dealer. We were informed through a series of background news broadcasts on Bella's computer and phone that her father had been arrested on charges of illegal lobbying or blackmail, and that Bella had set up the meeting with the arms dealer in order to use video evidence of his backdoor dealings to trap him in retaliation for his childhood rape and torture of her. As Conrad, 100 Guns, Harrigan, he was once the most feared crime lord in London and surely gained the respect and admiration of criminals throughout the city. Now, he is in prison with the rest of the other inmates, and his decades of notorious malevolence are celebrated. At the very end of the episode, Conrad leaves his prison cell and is greeted by the other inmates, who cheer and applaud him, which Conrad absorbs completely because, as has been made clear on multiple occasions, he is all about his own reputation.